What's up, strongest men, women, and children from blocks all around the world? I am my block's strongest man, and I come to you with my esteemed co-host like I do every week, Isaac from Hunger Smash Fitness. What's up, Isaac? And we have not one guest for you, but the whole crew, or the whole Strongman crew from Sons of Benches. I connected with Mike Minkler because he looks like Eddie Hall, and I thought that's going to be cool. And Mike, you want to introduce your crew?
Yeah, sure. So sitting here to my left is Drew. I'm Mike. This is Kennedy. That's other Mike. And then this is Michelle.
What's up, everybody? So, Mike number one and Drew, you're going to be competing at South Carolina's Strongest Man and Woman coming up in, what, a week and a half or so, right?
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, so just found out very recently, unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, they won't have the live stream anymore, so I don't get to bump into you in person. But you're a big dude, and both of you are. I don't know if I want to bump into you.
Probably fall over.
But I was checking out the events there. Which events are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, that one first.
Yeah. So when you said competing, that's a stretch of the imagination for me. So I'm just strong enough to, novice is a little too light, and then the open is probably somewhat too heavy. But I'm looking forward to the deadlift. Actually, I'm actually quite good at elevated deadlifts. I pulled 745 at Rhinos from 18. And so I'm pretty confident I'm going to at least get a couple reps at 680 from 14. I've been practicing quite a lot. And I'm also excited about the yoke too. I love the yoke. My favorite thing in training to do actually is put two people on the side of the yoke and carry them instead of weights. Much harder than actually carrying real weights. And so that's actually really fun to do.
Sweet. Wasn't it it was originally a yoke sandbag medley and they took sandbag out, right?
Thank the Lord. Yes.
And I think Drew, you feel the same way, right?
Sandbag's not my absolute favorite. Maybe it's because of the sandbag we've been training with. It's not the greatest in the world, but anything to kind of narrow that playing field down a little bit, I'm a little thankful for. But I'm personally looking forward to the Denny Stone hold, just because the legend of the Denny Stones. I've just recently found out about all that. Really awesome, and I've also, by working out with these guys, found I'm a pretty decent grip person. So good to see just how far I can push that at the competition.
So for context, when I was training for Rhinos, we had a 310 per hand hold that we had to do. I couldn't pick it up in training. Drew walks over here and picks it up for 10 seconds. He's a middleweight. He's 100 pounds less than me. He picks it up. And so I've got little baby hands apparently. So
Drew went to the Kevin Ferris School of Grit.
Maybe. I haven't met Kevin Ferris. He's a cool dude.
He's got an incredible grip.
For sure.
Yeah. So have you guys met the rep, Costin? He's a good dude.
Yeah, I've met Costin several times actually. So my first competition was last March at Landon Efford's 704 Strongest.
Yeah.
And so I met Costin first there. And then I was supposed to see him again at the end of July at Greg Popejoy's contest there in Jacksonville. But due to the situation of the world, he wasn't able to make it. And so then I ended up connecting with him again at Rhinos, and I've stayed in contact with him pretty much ever since. So he's a cool dude. He's doing a lot of good things, I think, for South Carolina in terms of strongman. And we have a few ideas we want to shoot his way too. To we think some cool contests that would get a crowd to come watch. So.
Yeah, I've always found him to be really receptive, and I believe, if I'm correct, this is the first time in 6 years this contest is happening, right?
Yes.
Any strongman contest in South Carolina.
Yeah, I think for Strongman Corp, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. So kudos to Costin for sure. He's doing great things there.
And he chose a great location too, right? Greenville's pretty hopping. So.
Yeah, I've never been. I was looking forward to it. I've never been, but tell me about it. I see when I interview strongmen from around the country or different countries, sometimes I like to ask like what's particular about your area that someone would be interested in who's never been there before. So there's a question for all of you. Whoever wants to take it.
Don't ask me.
The upstate of South Carolina is a pretty neat place because we're kind of in between the mountains and the beach.
Marshall Tucker Band.
Marshall Tucker Band.
I actually grew up about 5 minutes away from a Civil War battle site, Cowpens Battleground, the Battle of Cowpens. That's where I practiced driving, actually. So that was a fun thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But you've got rural areas, you've got the big city of Greenville, Spartanburg's kind of up and coming, Columbia's kind of getting there. So it's just a nice little middle ground where a lot of people from different areas have kind of come to just settle down. It's really neat. And there's a lot of great gyms and a great fitness community in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the Tough Expo is going to have CrossFit, Strongman, Jiu-Jitsu, bodybuilding, powerlifting.
Yeah.
So it's not just Strongman. It's going to be a whole fitness expedition, which is awesome.
That's awesome. Well, Mike, I know they're all coming to see you pull 505 kilos.
No, actually, I think if I were to do it the true form, I'd have to break it by, 30 kilos or something?
502.
I forgot, Eddie. That's the way you do it. You don't break it by kilos. What was it, 46 kilos or something?
Yeah.
Well, he broke the record a couple of times building up to it as well. So
Right.
There was the one where, in my opinion, he was robbed because he dropped it instead of putting it down gingerly. Like, he still lifted it. Come on.
Yeah, that was the one at Leeds, I believe, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that, 465, I think?
It's something along, yeah, it was right around there. Yeah, I could see that video in my face where he's like, you know?
Yeah, as soon as he dropped it, he was like, ah!
Maybe that's why he always holds them now when he stands there with his records.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when I saw you do the 500 kilo, you held it for about 8 seconds. It was trying to make your point.
I would also like to clarify, I am built like the 2016, 2015 Eddie, not the 2020. I am not shredded under the shirt.
He's in shape, but the shape is round.
It's round, yes. It's what I like to call the slob shape, shaped like a wrecking ball, SLAWB, slob.
it's the power belly, all right? You got the power belly.
He has the shirt to prove it.
I do, yes.
You got to copyright that one.
Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah, the shirt that I wear in a lot of my deadlifting videos actually says I'm not fat, I'm well-rounded, #powerbelly. And I threw some abs with a round belly on it. So.
Oh, my God. That's funny because, like, probably the most well-rounded strongman I could think of isn't round. It's Novikov.
Oh, yeah, right.
For real.
He's strong as hell, though.
Yeah, dude. Absolute monster.
Yeah.
I just hate that he does all of his videos in, like, Slavic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Drew and I have been spending quite a lot of time watching him trying to figure out how in the heck he does this for, like, the circus dumbbell. And Costin, the power belly.
What up, Costin?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were explaining that Michelle is going to have the first official Sons of Benches child.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Michelle. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so I sort of match, you know.
Yeah, we've got matching bellies right now.
It's
might be, yeah.
sympathy.
Mike's on his 30th trimester.
That's too many trimesters.
He's giving birth to Chris Kattan. It's okay.
Wait a minute. I'm no math major, but wait a minute.
You've never seen SNL.
Oh, man.
Got Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan in there.
Yeah. So, Kennedy, I found some images of you doing some tire flips. Is that one you enjoy? I just happened to pick a random photo there.
Yeah, I really enjoy tire flipping. The tire I've been working with is about 290. It was a little bit of a struggle at first. I got some really nasty bruises, which was great because right after that, I had to go to our wedding shower, which was fun to explain because I was in a dress. So I had to explain that, no, my future husband is not, physically assaulting me with doorknobs. It's just a tire. So now we have to figure out a way.
He's just physically assaulting me with a tire.
Yeah. It's masochism. It's fine. So now we have to figure out a way to add weight to the 290 because I'm not quite ready for the 480 yet, but the 290 is now way too light.
Yeah.
We also haven't done that in months, so.
That is true, though. She was bullying that the last time we played with it. And
Yeah.
it was playing with it at that point.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, now she's at like close to a 500 belted squat.
Wow. That's amazing.
2 plates on deadlift. She's pretty close to.
Yeah.
So.
Which is funny because I've not really trained any sort of weightlifting before March of last year.
Really? You're
Yeah,
proud
I
of me
picked
then.
up a 20-pound dumbbell off the floor before March of last year.
When me and her first started dating, she couldn't. My roommate at the time had 2 20-pound dumbbells, and she couldn't pick them up. And now she's deadlifting 200 pounds. Or
I think I
205.
forgot the best part of the story. What you were
That's awesome.
at their house.
Oh yeah, we were the only people who ever got strong at Planet Fitness, by the way.
Brian Chuck got thrown out once, I think, but
We're also the only people I've ever seen attempt to do deadlifts at Planet Fitness. And I think they only let us do that because, you know, my husband's a large, scary man and I have great RBF. So no one really wanted to tell us that we weren't allowed to do that. But yeah, we were at Planet Fitness for about 2 months and then we switched to Iron House. Yeah. It was funny because, you know, a grown man would get done with his leg press. I'm like, oh, that's cute, and just add weight. But yeah, I missed the cryptids. The Planet Fitness cryptids were pretty great, but I'm glad that we found Iron House.
yeah. I think for people who have never tried it before, you don't have a concept of how strong all of you and others in the strongman community are. Like when I first started doing these videos, Isaac knows the story. One of the ideas I came up with, Eddie, was to make a video about you. And I said, if he can deadlift 1,103 pounds, like a regular, like strong for an average guy could do 400 easy, right? No. That didn't work out too well, especially because I did it out in the grass on the dirt, and not a good idea.
So I had never actually heard of Strongman before like January 2020. I've not been into the sports ball my entire life. I've been a nerd, hence the Instagram strongest nerd you know. I actually only heard about Strongman because one of my friends, his name is Richard Sessick at Auburn. He's a professor in industrial engineering there. He sent me this email that said, Minkler's the secret love child of Eddie Hall. I'm like, who the hell is Eddie Hall? And so I looked him up, I'm like, oh man, he's kind of right. When you see him from the side, he kind of does look like me. And so while I was job searching after I defended my PhD, I trained the movements in my front room with the little 300-pound plate set that I had. And my first day actually on the job at Milliken where I work was also the start of my strongman career. I went in and maxed out on deads that day and hit 450 the first time I tried it.
Wow.
And yeah, I was like, that's pretty cool. So
yeah, that's big
then
time.
I met Michelle and she taught me how to sign up for competitions, and the rest is written in history. So
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, Eddie Hall, like when I talk to people who don't know what strongman is, even some of them have heard of Eddie Hall. Like it's a pretty big name. I would say, like, I don't know, what do you guys think? I think the biggest, most recognizable names in strongman to people who don't know strongman would be like Eddie Hall, Thor, Brian Shaw, and I would have to throw in Martins Lisi's because he's been on commercials like on ABC with the garbage truck and stuff. So I would say those four.
I would definitely say Thor because I had the opportunity to go to the Shaw Classic last year, and at first I thought it would be nerdy to get the trading cards that Brian Shaw had, but then I saw that everybody else was getting them, so of course I got them, and I got everyone there to sign their own trading card, and I made it into a frame that I display in my office where you can see the front and the back with it signed. So I always have people coming in looking, and I'm like, you know anything about Strongman? And the first name they all come up with is Thor because of the mountain on Game of Thrones. And I say, yeah, he's not really Strongman. I mean, he's still a very strong man, but he's not Strongman anymore. He's hoping to beat up my pal here.
We've all had thoughts.
Yeah, people bring him up and they're like, oh yeah, and the mountain from the Game of Thrones. I'm like, I don't know if you realize he's legitimately one of the strongest men who ever lived, you know? So.
Yeah, he is. It's actually pretty interesting looking at, had it not been for the Shaw-Zavickas rivalry, he probably would have won it a bunch of times, honestly. I mean, because, they really were dominant, and they would come in and win right when he had the opportunity to. One of them would sweep in and win,
Yeah, I did I don't know if you guys know, I get pretty much into the analytics quite a bit, and I did points earned out of points possible over a career, and he's Isaac, what was he, top 5 or something like that of anybody?
Yeah, I want to say he was 3rd overall, of all time or whatever, as far back as he went. He was way up there though.
So I'm with you, brother. I'm a nerd too.
I'm excited.
So actually, yeah, Kennedy is obsessed with the Excel sheets as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
a political chemist by profession, so data, Excel sheets, anything with numbers, I need it in my life. Thank you.
Nice. All right, I'll shoot it over to you.
Well, yeah.
I was gonna say you gotta buy the membership with John's channel then, because you get access to a ton of different analytics through his channel.
Athletes get a backdoor in for free, but everybody else, please support me.
Please, he's begging.
But by the way, like, you're a way smarter nerd than me. You're a PhD, right? And not in an easy discipline, if there are any. I would call that one of the most. What's your PhD in?
Oh, chemical engineering. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, me. Yeah.
I thought you might have been asking Kennedy if she had one. I was being polite.
No.
Yeah. No, it's in chemical engineering. My thesis was written on a lot of organic chemistry, so it's actually, yeah, that's what it does. It puts people to sleep. But it was kind of divided up into three categories. I'm the first person in my family to have a PhD. I'm also was the first grad student in my lab, so that was a really interesting experience.
Let me take a guess. It had something to do with carbon.
What? Oh, yeah, actually, great.
Sure.
Yes. But no, the main part of my thesis was written over semiconductive polymers, and so I looked at the microstructure of polythiophene, and we basically changed one little thing on the side of it and made what we call copolymers out of it to alter the properties and how it performed later on. So
I'm the only person in this room who understood what you just said.
Sure, that means something.
I took several chemistry classes and I took some OChem. So I mean, it's familiar, but I did not enjoy the classes. I just got the grade I needed and moved on.
I actually really miss it sometimes because now my job, I basically tell people what to do. I don't actually do the chemistry anymore, which is kind of sad. I'm published 6 times over in different international journals of science.
Fantastic.
Well.
That's awesome. Wow, congratulations.
Yeah. So it's pretty fun. If you Google Minkler Auburn, it'll pop up with my thesis. It's open to public to read. So,
Okay, cool. I'll do my best to read it.
Bedtime story or something to put you to sleep. That's not a medication. So.
So Kennedy, you were saying you understand it. You studied a similar discipline?
Yeah, so I have a bachelor's degree in chemistry, and I actually work at the same company as Minkler. I'm an analytical chemist for Milliken. So a lot of the PhDs submit their R&D research to me, and I tell them whether or not they've made what they think they've made. It's the best part of my job to tell a PhD chemist to try again.
That's funny. See, I went the other direction. My undergrad's in biology.
No, thank you.
I was going into my senior year and switched out of biology. And
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you switch into?
Finance with a business minor.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I got my MBA after getting an undergrad in biology, so I guess we're similar paths. Oh, that's funny. So, Mike number 2, Costin is asking, aren't you in the first Sons of Benches band?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, technically, I play bass for a death metal band called Curse of Flesh that's getting ready to release our first demo.
Awesome.
But I've been in live bands now for the better part of 8 years, and I played guitar up until recently, and bass has just been the thing that takes over.
He's
So
really good at playing bass.
you don't have to hype me up. It's okay.
I do. I'm your official PR manager. All right, it's my job.
But yeah, we're getting ready to release our first demo, and it's pretty heavy. So
Yeah, that's sweet. When it's out, just let us know what the platforms are. We'll spread the word for you.
hell yeah, man! Thank you.
Yeah.
You should see if you can get Costin to play it as like the music for the Strongman comp.
There you go.
There we go.
Entrance music.
It is actually great workout music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the ones in the back of Iron House playing like super heavy music because
The gym music is just
awful.
It's terrible.
I'm sorry, I'm just not inspired to move heavy weights while listening to Katy Perry sing about plastic bags.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to offend you, Drew.
It's okay.
It's just, it's not who I am.
I forgot.
Hey, to each his own.
Yeah, Drew's hype music is Katy Perry. We're
That's
not
what gets me
here
going,
to
man.
judge.
Is it really? Drew, is this true?
Like my inspirations are like Cannibal Corpse, Suffocation, Hate, Belphegor,
You know, the violent stuff.
the good music that
Good
nobody listens to because it's too brutal.
We have been told that our music we listen to while we lift is scary, though, by
Yeah.
by the gym owners. And so,
Yeah, that's why they won't play it,
Yeah.
because we're frightening.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
We make up people sad.
If you want to do scary things, you got to listen to scary music.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
By the way, you guys know Kyle Parker? He's very proud of you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's one of the sons of
He's
bitches.
the sons of bitch.
Kyle, mean it.
Oh, dude.
Apparently he's back from Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. As I am Kyle Parker's official mom friend, so love you, Kyle.
We've adopted him. He's our son.
Yes.
You have a lot of official titles.
She's also the official group
The Gobbler.
Big Gobbler, but she's we do have the Ken too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
We have
We
the
should have
Ken
used the
too.
Ken too for the
We
list.
should have used. Okay. All right. So there's a story behind this. All right. So
All right.
for the longest time was the one taking all of our videos and stuff, and you can always see them because they're like a slightly upward angle when they get when they're whenever she's shooting for us. But I started our schedule started not meshing up, and so I bought a camera stand. And I called it the Ken 2, and
She loves it. She loves that joke.
Yeah, it set a PR the other day. It held a 5-pound weight for us. We took a picture of it. So. Yeah.
Sweet. That's funny.
Just know that I'm friends with your girlfriend now.
Anyway.
Someone has not
Yeah, so
been
this is actually gonna be pretty interesting. Costin's show is gonna be Drew's first show. It'll be my second open show. Mistakenly, admittedly, I thought
I wasn't going to mention that, but since you brought it up, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll explain. So last year at Greg Popejoy's Comp in Jacksonville there at the end of July, I'd gotten second out of 6 people and thought, oh, great, that means I have to go into the open now. And so I was already signed up for Rhinos, which was USS, but Greg's was SC. Me not really knowing any better, thought, oh, I should go open now for USS as well. And so I went open in that. So now I have to compete open in USS. And because I hit the podium at this other one, I have to also compete open in SC now too. So as my coach rightfully said, no more kiddie pool for me. It's which, honestly, I touched on it earlier. I'm probably going to get a little bit squished by the weights, but I'm also looking forward to the challenge. Comp day is different, and anybody that's not competed doesn't know that feeling yet. Of you get there and like the fire lights up in you, everything you put into it's ready to go. Everybody, I think especially around the gym that doesn't compete strongman, used to seeing me. I love to talk, and I'm really goofy. So
Everyone knows.
But at comp day, I'm a little bit different. I'm way more focused. I have my 3 bags of goldfish and gallon of orange juice.
And Sour Patch Kids.
And Sour Patch Kids. That's exactly right.
He
So-
can't bring orange juice anymore because he'll dislocate a rib.
Yeah.
He's not allowed.
That did happen a while back.
Cranberry only.
I was drinking some orange juice a while back, and I coughed so hard I dislocated a rib.
Cranberry
Or
only.
something like that. Yeah, it was not pleasant. I could not live for like 2 weeks. It was,
Can
You just
Deb-
reminded me. I was out with my kids the other day, and we bought Sour Patch Kids. And my daughter's 5, so she had never had them before. So had them on the counter, and she's like, "Daddy, can I have another one of that gummy man?" And I'm like, "They're actually kids."
Children.
It's the snack that smiles back. Children.
I'm like, they're children. They're actually kids.
That's awesome.
We're like the Aztecs. We eat babies.
But yeah, speaking of Costin show, unfortunately didn't work out this time with Garage Gym Life Media, but they do stream a lot of awesome shows, and maybe they and Costin will sync up sometime in the future. And speaking of Garage Gym Life Media, they are sponsoring this live stream also. So I want to take a quick second to let John Greaves III from Garage Gym Life Media tell everybody who's watching all the great stuff they're doing with their membership program, which is a steal for all the value you get, by the way. So let's take a look.
this video because you enjoy Strongman. You can go on ESPN and you can watch cornhole and poker. There are even apps that let you watch cheerleading, marching band, racing, rugby, singing, but there's nothing that lets you watch Strongman, powerlifting, and Highland Games anytime you want until now. At AWESEOME Live Media, we are building a strength sports media channel and we want you to be a part of it. For just 99 cents a month, you get access to all of our Strongman live streams as well as all of our coverage of powerlifting, Highland Games, and group competition. That $12 a year gives us funding to cover more events and discover the next generation of champions as they begin their careers. Become a member of the AWESEOME Live Media YouTube channel today and help us change the way that the strength sports you love are covered.
And again, thank you to AWESEOME Live Media for sponsoring this live stream. I do encourage you all. I will put in the description below the link to go over and join their membership. Like I said, 99 cents a month. You can't beat it. They give you so much exclusive content. It's unbelievable. So I am a member there. I can vouch for how good the content is. I know you love it too. So thank you, AWESEOME Live Media. Just wanted to throw that in there and give everybody that great information. So we talked about deadlift. And the one thing I was thinking is, Eddie, are you sad that there's no Viking press there? You did very well at World's Strongest Man 2017.
That's a Thor subject.
Wow, you're quick-witted, man. That was good. I like this guy.
You know, I would say, you know, at first I was really sad because I found out I was really terrible at the circus dumbbell. And basically my issue was I was trying to do it, you know, the way I've always done things. And that's, oh yeah, pick it up, strict press it, get it, you know, go. You cannot do that with the circus dumbbell. You know, last year, I think I strict pressed like a 120 last year in a competition because I didn't know any better. And then after that, like, you know, I was like, okay, I've done with the circus dumbbell forever. And then I signed up for Costin's competition and realized, oh crap, now we've got this really heavy one that is coming our way.
Thanks, Costin, if you're still watching.
Yeah, thank you, Costin. Anyway, you know, I've got a great coach and some, you know, great training partners that have helped me really start learning how to use technique. I've got 310 pounds of body weight to put behind a push press. And so if I can figure out how to use that, you know, I feel like my pressing will go up, you know, and that's been evident with my axle press, which is a little bit easier to learn to do push press on than a circus dumbbell. But I've been having a lot of fun with it. And I think that by the end of this year, I'll be putting up some more respectable numbers with the circus dumbbell.
Yeah, Drew, circus dumbbell's your thing, isn't it? At least your Instagram would lead me to believe so.
Well, I wouldn't call it my thing. I'm better at it than him. The technique just had to click. We struggled with a circus dumbbell for a good long while, and then the technique finally clicked, and the weight started going up and staying up, which we were thankful for. That's a lot of weight coming down at your head. So he
knows personally.
Yeah. So I've enjoyed trying to work on that technique, and I still got a lot to work on. I was talking to one of the other competitors earlier today about some stuff I could improve on. Mainly my counterbalance arm, trying to get that engaged as well. So I'm looking forward to getting better, but I do enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, you have a 140 for reps at South Carolina's, right?
That is correct. Yeah. Thanks, Costin.
Yeah, I just tried like a regular dumbbell with the fat grips on it just to get the feel of it. And it's funny, like you talk about technique, it does make a big difference because I've never competed. I'm just some dude, right? So I think I did 80 pounds or something. And then I talked to Leifa Ingalls and got a bunch of tips. And I went out the same day and did 90 pounds, like with no extra strength, just technique, you know?
And, you know, the crazy thing is the fat grip is like almost like a medium. It's like between what a dumbbell would be and what the circus dumbbell would be. It's so hard to grip because the grip is just weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the blue one. Fat Grips makes one even thicker than that, but I have the blue one.
Okay.
So we also didn't mention our circus dumbbell special. It's not completely straight. It's actually like this. So we've been practicing with it, you know, on a curved circus dumbbell.
It is stable.
We're coming to grade on a curve.
Yeah.
And the costume graded on a curve.
Austin, bend your dumbbell. It's okay.
Well, I mean, circus is in the name. It has to be weird, right? It can't be perfectly straight.
It really is amazing how much attention. I mean, with the circus dumbbell, the name comes from the fact it is a spectacle event. It's meant to draw attention, and the attention we get every time we get it out at Iron House, everybody's like stopping to watch, and they're like, "How the heck are they getting that big thing over their head?" Just because it's just ginormous to look and see that you're actually putting this over your head is crazy.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that.
It's every time you break it out, man. It's the same thing when we break out any sandbag over 150 pounds, though. Or the Atlas stuff.
Yeah, we want to put a sign on it. This sandbag is not a chair.
Yeah. Except for Lexi, then it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, the Crossfitters hate when we leave our toys somewhere because they can't pick them up and move them. So if we
CrossFit bashing. Let's go.
if we leave something somewhere, like they just can't pick it up. So
Yes.
it stays there until we come back and realize that we left it in that spot.
We always
So-
joke about leaving the sandbags and the chairs for
Yeah.
all the folk.
Put it back behind Lexi's desk or something. Just
Yeah.
I would never do that to her because I feel like she'd probably actually murder me. But so Mike's actually wearing a shirt that's pretty interesting from an event we put on last October.
Now I have to stand up.
We called it Night of the Living Deadlift.
I saw that on one of your Instagrams. That's a cool idea. Yeah, talk some more about that.
Yeah, so what we did was we tried to get a bunch of people together to deadlift every single plate. Oh, you have to get closer, Mike. I don't know if they can see that.
Yeah, they got to see the Jack O' Lantern.
Yeah. The logo and name on the back of this one is called Jack O' Lantern. You know, like he's jacked.
You're standing up straight.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
there you go. And so anyway, what we did was we wanted to lift every single plate in Iron House at one point at the same time. Like everybody lift at the same time. We ended up lifting, I think, a total of like 5,600 pounds.
And I didn't get to actually deadlift anything.
Yeah.
We would have broke 6,000.
That's right. So we didn't quite get all of them. So we set a personal, like a set a gym record, and then our plan is to break it next year.
Yeah, we use literally every 45 plate available in our gym. And I hit a PR that night as well. I hit 195 for 4 that night.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
A lot of PRs that
While in full costume.
Yeah.
Did you drop them in sync or did you set them down gently?
Step them down gently.
Eddie never drops anything anymore.
So actually, that's really funny. I love to preach to people that are, we get some guys that want to come up and learn from us too. I love to tell them, the eccentric control is the most important part of the deadlift. It's where you get, I feel like that's what's made my deadlift start climbing, is to just control things a little bit on the way back down. Now going up is another problem for me. That's something that, my coach is Gary Petrovsky, by the way. And so he's helping me learn how to be explosive, because apparently I look bored sometimes deadlifting because I just pull so smoothly. And,
Yes.
and so I got to work on being a little bit explosive. So that's been fun. I'm sure a lot of the guys in the gym watching me like, why is that fat guy jumping? And
I mean, since we started training together, man, my deadlift has gone up almost 100 pounds.
Yeah.
We went from Planet Fitness, and our first night with them was a deadlift night, and I pulled 405 for the first time in my life. And then as of last Friday, I pulled 480 for the first time from 14 inches. And I don't think it'll be too much longer until I'm pulling 5.
Yeah, my PR went up 50 pounds since the start of the group until my last competition.
That's great.
I haven't lifted that much since the last competition.
See, I cheat. I cheat. You know what I do? I deadlift, and if I don't deadlift as much as I want to, I go do farmers instead because they're easier and I lift more.
See, you don't have my problem. I have tiny, grabby goblin hands. So farmers or anything, I have to really, really grip them or strap in because my hands are so small. No one thinks about us small-handed folk.
Yeah, see, I have kind of a dichotomy going on. I got the Titan ones with knurling. So on one hand, they're easier to grip. On the other hand, they hurt like hell when you grip them.
Wait, are they not both knurled?
What's that?
You guys mean like, okay,
you said on one hand that.
Oh, nice. Nah, I love those kind of jokes. I just missed it. Thanks. You outwitted me, Eddie. You outwitted me. He's a deadlifting machine and a genius.
Please don't feed into this.
Yeah, don't.
We try to tell him he's not that funny.
That's what everybody I know says to me, including that dude on the bottom of the screen. So, Michelle, I have a question for you. What's your favorite? Well, it's a two-part question. What's your favorite Strongman event, and what's your favorite implement to leave around for CrossFitters to pick up?
My favorite Strongman event is definitely Atlas Stones, just because when I first started competing, I started training for a competition probably, it was in September. And I was coming from CrossFit and powerlifting. I'd just done a powerlifting competition. I said, this is boring. It lasted too long. There's 3 events. So I was like, I'm going to do Strongman. So 8 weeks out from a competition, I'm like, I'm going to learn all these events and compete. And Atlas Stones was definitely the biggest challenge for me, but definitely the most fun to learn. So love Atlas Stones, whether it's for a heavy load or for reps. There's just so much technique to it, and there's nothing like being able to hug something just really tight and then throw it.
Says the woman about to have a baby.
I was don't get worried for Joey. These are questions we have.
Yeah, that the grip that it takes for stones is so crazy too.
Yeah.
It's like I just now as of just the other day PR'd on stones without any tacking, and it's just shy of 200 pounds, and it's so hard to grip onto it without anything to stick your hands to the ball.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's stupid how hard. Like it's the most underrated thing I think, as far as like how hard it is to do. Like the way your strength transfers to Atlas stones without any kind of assistance is really difficult.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I've never tried Atlas stones. I like lifting natural stones, like in the forest on trails and stuff. But and those can be a puzzle because you have to look for the grip. But there is a grip once you find it. An Atlas stone, there isn't. So definitely more difficult.
Yeah, you just gotta hug them as tight as you can, and it's also cool because it kind of just looks badass. I mean, you're doing it, and people are like, "Are you picking up that big old rock?" And
That's a ball. Yeah.
I feel like it's also the best thing that kind of transfers to the outside world, like you said, just picking up random things. And I mean, if me and my husband go hiking, I'm like, "Oh, it looks like a great rock to pick up," and he's like, "Why?" Leave it alone. Leave the rock there. But no, probably my favorite thing to leave around. We like to mess with the gym owner. One time, a friend of mine and I were working out, and she left a 60-pound dumbbell on the floor, and our gym owner couldn't pick up a 60-pound dumbbell. But for me, I like to leave the log sitting in the middle of the floor, and because she can't pick that up either. So
For context, so that was also 60% of her body weight. So,
yeah. She is only, she's like 105 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah.
So, we like to just mess with her, but
No, we love the gym though.
yeah, she puts up with us. So she's definitely a keeper.
They're very, they're very good to us, and we try to, do the same back. So
They're genuinely good people.
They are.
And they care about the people that come into their space. And
yeah.
That's great. Yeah, it's a
The
good.
log's fun to leave around because nobody knows how to pick it up. It's so. Do you pick it up by the sides? Do you pick it up in the middle? Do you put it on your head?
what is it?
By the side. No way.
How do you pick it up without you having a hernia?
Yeah.
You only pick up a log by the sides if your arms are as long as Isaac. So otherwise, you leave it alone.
Or like where
I can almost tie my shoes standing straight up and down.
if you're footage, you don't have to bend down. Like
Yeah, so I actually asked a lot of my guests this question, this quandary I have. I found a log in the forest that I think would be pretty cool to bring home and finish into a lifting log because everybody knows Slater's the best, but their wait list is really long. And so What's the rule? Are you allowed to take stuff out of the forest without asking permission, like if it's a state park, or do they frown on that?
Sure. I don't know. None of us are legal people, but I mean, it's
The government doesn't know. Won't hurt them.
I mean, who are you gonna ask permission to? Like,
It's a nature center, so there is like a visitor building and that whole thing.
Well, wait, wouldn't a fair compromise, whatever you pay for this later log, just leave that laying there where you found the wood, right?
I'm doing all the work getting it out of. It's taking me 3 months to drag it down the trail out of the forest. I'm not leaving full price, man.
Just
Discount.
nature. It'll dissolve. It'll be okay.
Yeah, leave a nature offering and call it good. You know. It's,
There you go. Yeah, they have a donate because they have like hawks and owls and stuff, so they have a donation box. I'll just go a bunch of times and leave a couple dollars.
there you go.
yeah.
There you go. No, that would be pretty neat. There's a Strongman DIY page, and it's really cool seeing how creative people get.
Yeah.
Making.
Yeah, I visit that one from time to time. It is really cool.
Yeah.
So that's actually something that's pretty interesting. I've met, I think, everybody that's in the novice heavyweight division now. I got to meet this fellow named Alex Swan this last weekend, and he lives up near Asheville. If you're in that community, he's the one that had that wooden yoke that they built, and it's a super cool yoke. Like I told him I want to come down just so I could carry it. You know, it kind of looks like the Stoltman's yoke a little bit if you've seen that one.
The Stoltman's one is beautiful. I love that.
It looks a lot like that. You know, obviously not as refined because they didn't come from competition or whatever. But anyway, so
I did see somebody posted a fire
hydrant
on there the other day.
That was awesome.
We've got 2 of them that Michael came and helped my husband pick up, and they're like how much were they?
okay, so
500,
actually he told me they were 200 pounds, and then we looked it up. No, they're like the ones he got are like 500 pounds. And,
Wow.
Oh, they're
Is
ridiculous.
it the newer they are, the heavier they are?
This is the old ones.
the
I think
older
it's the old
ones,
ones.
yeah.
Yeah, the old ones were like stupid heavy.
Yeah. My husband's a firefighter, and he was like, "Oh, let's put fire hydrants. This will be great." And so
Falls through.
he gets these 2 fire hydrants, and they're like his truck's sitting at an angle.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I can't help you pick these up. 'Cause I was 8 months pregnant. And so we called Michael over, and they moved them. And so, yeah, they're not going anywhere.
Strongman challenge.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
But
That's
now
cool.
we have 2 implements sitting in our front yard if anyone wants to come practice on fire hydrants.
There you go.
Hey,
They had a fire hydrant at Clash on the Coast, but I don't think it was 500 pounds.
Yeah,
No, for sure not.
fire hydrant loading medley.
Yeah,
Oh,
those things would be
Jesus
entirely
Christ.
too heavy to
Don't
load.
speak that into existence.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, they had them doing it on the sand too, on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, that was a great competition, but anything
Anything
on
on sand.
sand,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
anything on sand seems like a nightmare.
Yeah, I always said like it was great. It looked great for the fans, but it must have been a nightmare for the athletes to do
Oh, for
those,
sure.
especially those events.
Speaking of like homemade equipment, the gym that I go to on the weekends to train, 360 Fitness, to shout out Dave, but
Yes.
he has this yoke that he had one of the guys in the gym built it for him. And the first time I went there, I was like, oh, it looks cool. It's like 4x4 steel beams on top of about 8-inch tall steel I-beams. And I was like, all right, it looks heavy. The bolts holding it in place are 1/2-inch bolts, so you need a special tool to like adjust the height and everything. And first time I went over, just went to like go move it and couldn't even budge it at first. And I was like, oh man, like I'm gonna get my belt and my sleeves and everything like set up just to move this thing 2 feet over, and finally picked it up and found out it's like 600 pounds unloaded or something like that. I was like, why do you have this sitting around? Like,
I personally would love that. That would save a ton of time.
it's yeah, I mean, like you don't have to load it. You just start carrying it around, and there you go. There's your heavy yoke.
That is the worst part of starting to lift really heavy weight. So I've been training elevated deadlifts now for like it feels like freaking half a year, because the Rhino's at 18 and now Costin's is at a 14 on an axle. And I think most training days I'm working up to at least 6 plates on each side. So I'm getting a lot of cardio just moving 45-pound plates around.
Sorry for interrupting.
Nice.
Is that
down to the forest?
Yeah.
the log you're trying to steal?
Yeah.
I didn't
That's what you do. That's what you do when you don't have a yoke.
I like it.
That's awesome. That reminds me of Tom Haviland. I don't know if you follow him on Instagram.
No, I don't know of him.
Super strong guy. Does all these like crazy lifts and stuff.
Yeah.
Isaac's nodding. I think he knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's always doing it in like blue jeans and cowboy boots, and like he's just doing random stuff in his backyard with rusted out plates and like. But he's ridiculously strong.
He is. He's like almost 400 pounds, and like probably the craziest thing I think I've seen him do was drag that sled with the engine setting on it up a gravel hill or something like that. Like, yeah, it was insane. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, we were on the way to the Shaw Classic, driving up from the airport, heading to Estes Park, and we were going through some gorge, and my brother-in-law was with me, Garrett Fix, if he's watching, and we stopped because there was a river and there was big natural stones, and I was like, oh, I gotta do this. So I picked one up, shouldered it, and had to take a picture, and I tagged Shaw and Shaw Strength in it and said, hey, can I be an alternate? And they did reshare it, but they didn't tap me to be an alternate for the event. So.
Next time, you'll be an alternate next time. This one killed me because I walked, like, it was super cold that day, and I know this stone because I leave it at a certain place in the forest. I know which one it is. And I walked there, and I'm like, why is this so hard? It was frozen to the ground. So.
Oh, man. So, actually, I don't know if you've ever heard the story about Paul Anderson with something similar, right? Yeah, he used to, I think it was a safe he used to pick up or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And one day it was frozen to the ground. He actually tore his bicep trying to pick it
my
up.
God.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
so I was telling you, I'd never heard of strongman really before 2020. So all of my strength sports has been like, all my knowledge about it has been, garnered within like the last like year and a half, 2 years-ish time period. So a lot of it's pretty fresh. I'll remember like absurd things and people like, I don't remember that.
So this is really funny. Since I was sharing my screen, I wasn't on this screen, and now I've come back, and mic number 2 has transformed into a dog.
She's way prettier than I am, I get it.
Yeah, come on. The dog can talk too. Yeah, for the viewers, this is Freya. She's very dark, so you might not have seen her yet.
Right.
Yeah, she is our child.
Their child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't care who you are. If you have hands, she will love you.
There you go.
She just wants you to touch her.
That, and she isn't fully aware that she is a dog, so
Yeah, you were telling me she purrs before when we were off camera. That was
Yeah, she purrs. She does not bark. She grumbles, and she judges.
And she won't bark. She won't bite. She won't lick you. But she will judge the hell out of you for no reason.
Yeah.
Does she judge deadlifts?
No.
Only if you do sumo.
Yeah.
Oh no, you brought up the S word.
Just don't say it 3 times. You won't have to hear about it.
Yeah.
Like Beetlejuice.
Say it
Speaking
3
of
times, it will appear.
yeah, speaking of judging, actually, I have a bit of a conundrum I might approach you guys with. So I was signing up for a competition coming up end of April timeframe, which I was pretty excited to compete because I haven't done much in the last year and a half just because of everything that's been going on. And in Washington out here, there's no competitions going on. So I was signing up, and then the guy who was running it reached out to me and asked if I could be a loader spotter instead. And I was like, nah, I've done that before. Not my thing really, but whatever. And then he's like, well, here's the deal. All my loaders and spotters bailed. Magnus Verve Magnuson is coming out to judge the competition. So if you agree to be a loader spotter, we'll take Magnus out for dinner after the competition. And so we can have like not a private dinner necessarily, but just the 3 or 4 of us with Magnus on his birthday. And I was like, dude, that's pretty severe bribery. Like, so I'm like, I really want to compete, but a dinner with Magnus on his birthday, like,
You should be
I don't know. Like, I can compete later, I guess. I don't know if I'll ever get to have dinner with Magnus again.
Actually, what's the name of the guy that's giving you this offer? His name and number?
And actually, Magnuson was supposed to be a loader tester, right? Whenever he actually won World's Strongest Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
that's how he got started.
If come back and win the competition, somebody will.
I should just jump in on all the events and be like, "Oh, I accidentally won that one." So let's.
All I gotta say, Isaac, is that when you show up there, please don't tell him that as much as I like him, Samuelson's my favorite Magnus.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, that's so I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do yet. I'm more and more leaning more heavily towards being a spotter loader, as much as I don't like it, just because
I would 100% do that. Yeah.
Oh, it's such a
and
bummer.
then you need to write out a list of questions you want to ask him before you go to dinner. You don't just stand there and stare at him the whole time.
Show up with a video camera and a whole notebook. Out. Happy birthday. So anyways, we're gonna...
Top left is my block strongest man. You're on live.
By the way, we're having such a good time here. We haven't mentioned, please like this stream if you haven't yet and you're watching it and you like what you're watching, which why couldn't you? We're having such a great time here. Make sure to subscribe to My Block Strongest Man. When we're all done here, go over to Isaac's channel, subscribe to his channel as well, Hunger Smash Fitness, and watch a bunch of his stuff. Watch time does count, people. Watch time does count. And then we'll actually give all our guests some time to give you ways to contact them at the end, and we'll put all that in the description as well. So just a quick reminder, support us all. We're working hard for you here.
Yeah, we've been trying to spread the word too, and put it out there and everything. We're all about community. That's really how our group started. We really wanted to put together a group of people that, like-minded people trying to get stronger and trying to help people really get into, strength sports, not necessarily come out there, oh yeah, I gotta, deadlift 500 pounds every day I come in the gym, but get out there and really just, become a better version of yourself. And, we have people of all walks of life in our group. Like I said, we have about 25 members right now.
Bodybuilders, casuals.
Yeah. And I mean, people just starting off trying to learn. And then we have seasoned veterans that are in here. Like, Michelle, I think actually technically been competing longer than all of us. So
how long have you been competing?
God. Well, I mean, I guess it depends. I started out in powerlifting. So if we start with powerlifting, 7 years.
Wow. That's great.
So, but Strongman, I started in 2017. So.
Oh, the same year Eddie was at World's Strongest Man.
You mean one World's Strongest Man?
One. Hey, let's be clear. I'm Team Eddie.
Yes. I legit want to go to that boxing match just because I know how much people will be like.
I tell you a funny story, and I was always like, after seeing all the footage that came out afterwards, I'm like, all right, Eddie's in the right and Thor's not. And then I talked to Steve Schmidt, and he was like, I competed with Thor, and I think it was a Natural Stone World Championships, and he's like, he's such a nice guy, whatever. So I kind of rethought it. I'm like, if a guy is nice as Steve Schmidt says Thor's nice, then he's nice.
Well, the thing that got me about it, obviously, I'm Team Eddie as well. Right. But I will tell you that, after Eddie tore his bicep off, Thor sent out a really good video, I think, where he was like, bro, I really want to fight you, get your head in the game so we can do this. And I thought it was very respectful. So
I agree.
I want you to be whole.
The nicest way to say, like, we're meeting out back. I really want to fight you.
Yeah. I would like to punch you in the face, please.
Yeah, the thing, it's weird because, like, on one hand, you have Thor looks like he's really trying to learn how to be a boxer, and Eddie looks like he's trying to rip Thor's head off. And
cow? That's what I think Eddie's trying to train to do. Where they punch the hole through the cow.
Yeah. Like, when Isaac and I made videos about this when it was first announced, and my prediction was like Eddie's gonna win in 3 rounds by breaking Thor's rib. Like that was my prediction. But like then you think about it, after 2 years, are you still that angry? Like if your thing that's gonna get you to win is anger, is it still there? Like that's
right.
That's
well,
my career.
John, I have a question for you actually. So
okay.
Are you going to add their boxing match to your spreadsheet?
I've done boxing spreadsheets before.
You mean like calculate it out with the strongman events, or do a separate boxing one?
Ooh, that would be cool, right? If you could figure out a way for like explosive power events or whatever to see who versus endurance. Yeah,
I mean,
don't know.
let me answer you straight. I have a spreadsheet with the predictions for the boxing match. I'll give it to you. Like I did it. I made it a year ago.
Spreadsheet, yes. You have my attention.
So you excel at making spreadsheets, I take it.
I do.
Get out of my house.
No, I cheat because I'm a manager, a business analyst. We do enterprise software. That's my day job. And so if I don't know how to do a VLOOKUP the right way, I ask one of my team members.
Nice.
I just Google.
Ask my boss. He does spreadsheets for fun.
Yeah, I do enjoy them. I came up with a. Did you guys see my Tim Buck or the Isaac and I had Tim Buck on last week? I showed my head-to-head spreadsheet. Did you catch that?
Yes.
That's my newest toy. I'm having fun with that one. I got it to work pretty well.
Yeah, and I remember hearing you got in trouble with Graham Hicks, and he actually like corrected some stuff.
Oh, before not with this spreadsheet, but yeah, no, because he had a good point. Like he basically, I had done a prediction video, and I'm not saying prediction's my strong suit. Really, it's not. But everybody else does them, so why not us? And so I did. Which one, Isaac? Was it Britons? I can't remember which one.
I want to say it was Britons or Giants. I can't remember which one, but it was.
I think it was Britons. Yeah. So basically, like. It was the one with Shane Flowers and Desmond Gay and like guys who were really just at that level for the first time. And I think I had one of them above him because like they had done really well in deadlift or what have you. And so my algorithm didn't take into account at that time yet, like what level competition you had made those accomplishments. And so basically he said to me, like, he used some language, but that's fine. And and I said, listen, like I'm a fan, like I'm not trying to dog you here. And he's like, okay, fine, but I don't understand. Like you should be comparing me against other times I've been at Britain's or like not like the Shaw Classic where I was hurt or whatever. And so that was really his main thing. Like he was hurt at the Shaw Classic, and I took how he did at events there, which is kind of a double-edged sword, right? Like, did the referees like forgive it and say, okay, you're hurt, so we'll give you more points? Like, no. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But I said, okay, like I'll drop the Shaw Classic out, but I got to drop out every event, like not just the one you have a problem with, right? Yeah. And so I redid it, and hopefully, I didn't hear from him again after that, but hopefully that it seemed like I was making an effort to be fair, and I redid the predictions, and I gotta say I had him third, and that's where he finished. So there you go.
I thoroughly enjoy those types of analytics. I think I told you my first exposure to your channel was watching you go through the women's sheet that you made. That was a very interesting episode. I was like, that is super cool. I really loved watching that.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that very much. Isaac knows. Like, I will tell everybody my biggest fanboy moment of any interview I've ever done was Donna Moore.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Strongman. And speaking of the women in Strongman, I'm a firm believer that it should be called Strong Ma'am, for the women. Show them respect, guys.
You should really enunciate the ma'am. It should be Strong Ma'am.
That's right.
Like Dave Chappelle enunciate. Strong man.
Nice.
Anyway.
Yeah, but no, our first interviews were all women. We had Leela Worley, we had Katie Rogers, we had Christine Matthews, and then I had Marcus Crowder after that. But I had 3 women first. I really wanted to put a focus where I thought there wasn't enough focus, honestly.
That's right. And actually, in our group, 3 out of the 5 of our like officers in our group are actually female. Okay. And so, I mean, we're firm believers of that too. That's kind of a natural extension of our gym. Both the gym owners are females as well. Very strong female figures, we shall say. And, it shouldn't be guys lift bigger weights, so they're more important. No, screw that. Like, you know what? The women folk are just as impressive. So, yeah. Yes, I'm not a native. Make fun of the way I speak. The women folk.
It's all right. I'm sure I have some things I say being from New Jersey that are funny to you.
I'm originally from northern Missouri, or Missouri if you're from there, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha. You don't say y'all.
I don't say y'all. I say you all, and it really irritates everybody down here in South Carolina.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, here in Jersey, we just say you. We say you parentheses plural.
I've been to Jersey.
This is not New York.
As a truck driver, I know.
Well,
No, but I mean, our group, is all about community, and like we are super welcome, like to females, males, all sports, everything, because it's all about like cheering each other on and hitting PRs, whether that's a heavy weight for you or your PR is like, getting something quicker than you did before.
Parker's talking.
Kyle's come a long way, actually. He is putting pound after pound on his deadlift, and so we're very proud of Kyle.
I love watching Kyle PR on deadlifts because it literally looks like
A newborn baby.
a newborn baby learning to. He gets it, but I don't know what happens. I've never seen anyone move the way he does when he's PRing. Like,
In like OE fitness, when you see somebody deadlifting their legs shake violently for no reason, that's what it looks like when Kyle PRs. But it's always
He
always
it.
nails
He's
it.
solid.
He gets it.
He's
He's
put on what, like 50 pounds on his PR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is put on a lot. So
Kudos to Kyle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question that we've asked some of our other guests before. So with yoke, some of our guests like it where the yoke is just barely off the ground. So you barely have to pick it and then just run with it. Other people like it like 4 inches off the ground because then there's less risk of it catching or whatever else. What are your personal preferences? What's
There's
that?
a science. It's called the Tinny Test. All right. So you set it to where it would be just above your boobs, which is indeed just in line with your armpit.
He's like, I gotta take a drink on that one.
Ever not sure? Take the Tinny Test, and that is the perfect height for everyone to run yoke.
That's how we said it.
So which
I have
But-
established.
but I would also
in
say
which semester of chemistry do they teach that test?
That's the class you take at night, by yourself.
Extra credit.
It's a night course taught for goblins. All right.
I would say that it really matters whether you're carrying plates or people on the yoke, because people you certainly want a little bit higher, but obviously you keep the yoke a little lower, and it's on a flat surface, not going up a hill or anything like that.
I think that matters because at our last competition, because we were both at 704.
Well, your last competition.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They measured me wrong. And so going there, I was like quick and it was great. It was perfect. Coming back, I picked it up and it was like a slight uphill and I started scraping the ground and it wasn't a heavy weight for me. But it's,
The
Sometimes
yoke-
you look like a
should have
newborn
done the
baby
titty
giraffe.
test.
Yeah, titty test works every time.
The yoke is honestly probably it's a tie between that and deadlift for my favorite event. I love the yoke. I heard Tim talk about carrying the card. That looks super cool. But I'm also down to just throw some weight on a yoke and carry it. I love doing that. My mom's a PT. She gets on it. If mom's on here, hi mom. She gets on me for carrying people on the yoke because of the bouncing and whatnot. But I love to carry people on a yoke. It's so much fun.
It's fun for the people who ride the yoke. As someone who has been one of your yoke weights,
That's right.
it's a delight.
I gotta say, I like farmers because once I started doing farmers, I'm like, I can't wait to travel again. I'm gonna carry the hell out of those suitcases.
It's the practical like grocery bag getter. Just,
Very practical.
One trip.
Carry every grocery in the store.
Yeah. Unless you go to Costco, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, I don't know what to do at Costco.
Your best.
Yeah, Tim
You
also
do your
mentioned
best.
something else that was pretty interesting too. He talked about the car deadlift, if I'm remembering correctly. That's a thought that I often have walking through parking lots: is which car can I deadlift? Walking.
You need to implement me so we can do a car deadlift.
Ma'am, may I use your car?
Yeah.
I've never been able to deadlift a car, but it's only because I don't have the benefit of the beams coming out from underneath it. It's a lot more leverage. That's the only reason I can't do it.
100%. Yeah, we learned that last summer. at Rogue Alphas. That was a super cool competition. And one of the wheels was just slightly hiked up on there, and that made like a 200-pound difference. I mean, it was pretty crazy, but it was a really fun competition. That was the one that had the farmers and plane pool at the same time. So that was a pretty cool event. I think everybody signed up just to do that one, and then they're like, "Oh crap, there's other events we got to do."
Yeah, the one car deadlift, Isaac, you probably remember this, that sticks in my mind beyond all the other ones because like barely no one else could do it, was not this year's Mammoth Strain Challenge, but the one before, where like everybody, it was part of a medley. I think it was like all kinds of deadlift, like a traditional deadlift, an elevated deadlift, and then a car deadlift for reps. And like I think almost no one else even got to the car, and Bobby Thompson's repping it like it's not there. Like it was crazy.
Well, part of the problem was because I think it was an elevated deadlift first and then the conventional deadlift, and the conventional ended up being like 90 pounds heavier than what it was supposed to be or something like that. So everyone had prepped for a specific weight and then it ended up being significantly heavier. And so everyone kept failing that deadlift. And so not a lot of guys actually got to the car. And then Bobby just went and did like 8 reps with the car or something like that. And just like looked like he was goofing off for fun.
Yeah, I remember saying it was an Audi. It was like the promoter's Audi, and I have an Audi too. I'm like, I am not letting that man anywhere near my car.
I just pick it up and walk away with it.
Yeah, but that was crazy. Travis Ortmeyer was there, and he actually said he set an inadvertent deadlift PR because it was misloaded. So, yeah, I think it was like Isaac said, it was supposed to be 800 and it was 889.
That's a big difference at that way.
My goodness.
We have had a lot of discussions. Once again, thank you, Costin, for this 14-inch deadlift. We are of the theory that a 14-inch deadlift is actually harder than a conventional deadlift because you're starting from a height where most people stick on their deadlift, just right below your knees there. You don't have that floor speed to kind of pull through it. It's a beast. Get started. Every time I go to pull, I'm like, I don't even think this weight's going to move.
That's why I counted 480 as a PR the other day.
Yeah.
At 14 inches is something else.
On an axle.
Yeah, the axle.
Yeah.
An axle. Wow.
That was an axle move, Costin.
That was an axle move. By the way, I meant to tell you earlier that when you were talking about yoke with people, that's no yoke.
No.
Michelle, there are 2 of them. We have
Oh my God.
It's a fertilizer.
You found me.
Yeah, I actually really love carrying people, and people love to be carried. So, yeah, hey, it's a win-win.
It's a perfect match.
That's right. That's right.
By the way, I have a challenge for the audience. If we hear "Thank you, Costin" one more time, you got to send me a super chat. I mean, come on, people.
Well, we could oblige you right now, right? So, thank you, Costin.
There you go. Come on, audience members. You know you love this content. Thank you, Costin. That's awesome. So, Isaac, you got anything else you wanted to ask or anything else you guys wanted to share before we wrap up and let you know or let you tell everybody how they can contact you, maybe any sponsors you got going on or anything you'd like to shout out that's coming up? Anything else you got, Isaac?
Not really. I think we covered most of it. Yeah, nothing off the top of my head, at least.
Cool. So whoever would like to go first, just how people can reach you, anything exciting you got coming up. We know about South Carolina's already for the fellas, but anything else you got coming up that you'd like to promote, feel free to promote anything you like.
Sure. So actually, after our contest on February 19th, sometime in March, we're going to have PRmageddon 2.0. We did this last year where we had I think probably 17 people and we broke over 40 PRs together. Which was super fun. It was SBD, so squat, bench, deadlift. I'd actually fallen down a set of stairs the day before and almost tore my bicep. So walking my dogs, yeah. So I couldn't compete, but I still squatted over 400 pounds that day. Just I couldn't do the other 2 events to the arms. So that was really fun. So this year my goal is to compete. But that's going to be at Iron House. We don't have a date set yet, but if you follow us, either Sons of Benches page or any of us, it'll be all over our pages, I'm sure. just come have a good time. If you'd like to get a taste for what competition's like, it's a great atmosphere for it because it's no pressure. So just come break all your own personal records.
He'll be judged off the Wilks calculator, and I will be beating him.
He thinks he's going to beat me. Wilks calculator is the fat guy's friend. So.
By the way, all these names you have for shows, like, do you guys have a marketing firm working for you?
It's called mine.
It's basically this group of people right here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
PR-Mageddon is genius.
Right? Thank you.
He comes up with the names. My husband does the logos.
Yep.
We've got the Instagram page, Sons of Benches.
Yep.
So,
And I provide the brutals.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
a group effort.
It is. Yep. Oh, anyway, we really appreciate it. We've had a great time on
Yeah,
here.
this has been a
It's
fun
pretty
time.
fun.
Yeah, for us as well. I got to give Charlie a shout out. He's in the audience as well.
Ah,
Oh. Okay.
Definitely could happen. I mean,
Charlie did hit 550 without training, so.
Did he really? Wow.
he was nuts.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
he,
Charlie.
he also, at my last competition, did the grip challenges. And he was the only person at the competition out of all the strongman competitors to pick up a 45-pound plate by the hub.
Wow.
So he's
Yeah.
got some, but he's constantly, well, he figured it out. It's fire hose. Twirling, not twirling. Twirling fire hose.
Yeah.
He's going to kill me for that. Rolling. Yeah.
I think I saw that on the Olympics the other night, twirling fire hose.
Michelle.
What was that, John?
I said, I think I saw that on the Olympics the other night, twirling fire hose.
On ice skates.
Yeah.
Iceland won the gold.
We're on fire.
Awesome. But yeah, we had a great time, guys. Definitely have to have you all on again. This is one of the most enjoyable sessions that I think we've ever had. So this was really fun. I'm going to end the broadcast now. Then you can yell at me for all my corny jokes off the air if you like. And of course, for everybody who watched, thank you all for watching. And of course, until next time, as always, ciao, homie.
Yeah.
Bye,
Yeah.